What's up, YouTube? It's finally about that time, and I'm super excited to welcome you guys to my channel. Now today I'm going to be doing some storytelling just so that you guys can learn a little bit about me. You know, I've opened up and I've allowed myself to be vulnerable, but nonetheless I'm super excited to share my thoughts and my world with you guys. And without taking up too much more of your time, just feel free to leave comments if you need to, but let's go ahead and just get this thing started. So outside of cyber world, everybody knows me as Brittany. Now, the name Aquila was gifted to me by my late grandfather when I was around 11 or 12 years old. The name gets its origin from the Arabic language. I've also found that it also has some origins or relations to the Swahilian language, but nonetheless, this name was gifted to me by my late grandfather when I was like 11 or 12, and the name itself means wise, intelligent woman. Now, at the age of 11, I'm still playing with baby dolls, so this wise, intelligent woman thing didn't really kind of sit well with my spirit. I didn't resonate with it. So, you know, I always kept this name in my heart and my memory because my grandfather gave it to me, but it wasn't something that I lived up to or that I identified as. But fast forward years later, you know, maybe around my 24th, 25th, 26th year of age, somewhere around there, you know, I started growing. I started becoming more conscious. I started awakening to, you know, just things and of the universe and the world and the society and whatnot. And, you know, for some reason that name Aquila just seemed to come back to me. And it just started to fit me more. And so I started to identify myself as Aquila, like I was growing into Aquila. And the whole awakening Aquila movement is related to the fact that I'm awakening parts of my inner spirit, of my inner wisdom and intelligence and intuition. And I'm using those things to guide me through this thing called life and to just be able to kind of understand some of the hidden messages in this whole existence that we are all existing in these moments. And so really the Awakening Aquila movement is just me broadcasting my journey on awakening Aquila, this wise, intelligent woman that lives within me, that's been asleep for all of these years that I've been identifying myself as Brittany. And you know, there's a lot involved with going through an awakening, especially when you feel so abandoned or alone, because there's not many people out there who are close to you who actually get it and who understand it. And so one of the main reasons why I wanted to create a YouTube channel in the first place is because I remember how I felt when I first started going through my awakening. I felt alone. I felt confused. I was depressed. I didn't understand, and I felt lied to, and I really didn't have anybody to talk to about it because I didn't want people to think that I was crazy. So me making these videos and me choosing to create this vlog or this YouTube channel is just to, I guess, be a support for someone else who might be going through the same thing, because I wanted support and I needed support, but I didn't have the avenues. And so I hope that with me choosing to move forward with this channel, that I can at least inspire someone or be a support system for someone, or even be a light for someone whose light might not shine so brightly in these moments. But nonetheless, that's a little bit about Aquila, the Awakening Aquila movement, and how I kind of got started with wanting to create a YouTube channel. So how did I become interested in health? Well, my story about getting involved with health is kind of a really personal story, because I didn't just wake up and just all of a sudden I was interested in health. And no, I wasn't born with the natural hobby of just being interested in health. At one point of time, I was completely ignorant to health and all things related to health, and I was just out living my life and just trying to make the most of it. But probably right around when I was like in my early 20s, maybe 20, 21, 22, somewhere around there. More exactly, I was probably like a sophomore or a junior in college. Hi, Chloe! I'm making a video. I'm making a video. Sorry guys, that's one of the neighbors. Her name is Chloe, and she's such an adorable little girl, but she's nosy too, but I like Chloe. But nonetheless, where was I? Okay, so my personal story about how I got involved in health. So right around like my sophomore year of college, she's still asking me questions. Yes, Chloe. I'll talk to you about it later, okay, when I finish. All right. So, anyways, right around like my sophomore year of college, I had gotten on birth control, and I remained on birth control for like 3 years in a row. And just a slur of things just started happening from there. I noticed that I started gaining a lot of weight. I was the heaviest I had ever been during those years. I think I was at about like 140 pounds. I was like a size 7 to a 9. So I had gained a lot of weight because my natural weight is somewhere around 120, 125. But nonetheless, I had gained weight. I started noticing that I was having some hormonal imbalance issues, like my mental was just all over the place, and I was always just irritable, and I just wasn't in a good place. I was having a lot of digestive trouble, so I wasn't having regular bowel movements. I was pretty much only going to the bathroom maybe once a week, and even at that, it was minimal when I would try to go, and I would have extreme constipation, so I wasn't having effective bowel movements, so I was all backed up, and literally I was full of shit. And so to go along with that, I suffered from extreme bloating, extreme gas, and when I say that literally I had to pass gas like maybe every 2 to 3 minutes, and it was like clear the room kind of gas, I knew that something was wrong, and I knew that that wasn't natural. And to add to the list of things, I was also having a lot of feminine issues. So I was dealing with, the bacterial vaginosis is a bacterial infection, and it's known for heavy discharge and a foul, fishy odor. So I dealt with that a lot. I was having yeast infections all the time, just being irritated and itchy down there. So there was a lot going on in my lady area. In my private area, I should say. That sounds a little better. So, acne, fatigue. I mean, what else? I'm just trying to make sure I capture it all. But nonetheless, I was dealing with a whole slew of things, and I was constantly going to the doctors, being prescribed antibiotics, being prescribed antifungals, and doing all these different regimens, and nothing was working. And so I got sick and tired of going to the doctors. I was a full-time student. I was broke, and I couldn't afford to keep going to the doctor. So I was like, okay, enough is enough. No more doctors. It's time for me to research and try and do this on my own. And so I set to YouTube. I set to Google. I was all over the place. I was Googling all day and long trying to find answers to my problems. And what I had identified is that maybe I was suffering from an extreme case of candida overgrowth. And so I went on this drastic diet. I cut out just about everything in my diet besides meat and vegetables. I was only drinking water, no sugar, no fruit, no nothing, just meat, green vegetables, and water. And I did that for about 2 months. Lost a ton of weight. I did a full colon cleanse. I did a whole heavy metal detox. I was on a whole bunch of natural supplements that killed candida, like oil of oregano, Paul d'Arco. Like when I tell you, like, I spent so much money because I was desperate, but I bought all kinds of stuff and I experimented on myself for a few months, but I saw results. And so after making those extreme changes with my diet, after using the supplements and doing the cleansings and the colon cleanses, I was able to start having regular bowel movements on my own. My vaginal issues started clearing up, and I wasn't dependent upon medical attention. my mood switched. I stopped the birth control. I stopped having, extremely painful periods and things like that. So it was like a complete 360 from what I was experiencing before. And so when I realized that I actually fixed myself, that's when it all just was like click. And it just started making sense to me. And then from that moment, nobody could pull me away from engaging in the world of health. And it became an addiction at first because I was just so revitalized by the fact that I was able to heal myself of something. And so I just couldn't stop researching. And fast forward to where I am now. I'll be 28 soon, and I'm vegan now. And when I say I've cut out so much bullshit from my diet, to the average person, you would think that I didn't eat shit but grass. But I actually have learned how to eat to live, and I've removed the fillers and the sugars and the junk food and all the other unnecessary things that are constantly pushed for us to eat that make us sick. I've been able to eliminate those from my diet, and I feel good and I feel happy, and I'm just so in love with my lifestyle. And that's how I realized that this was my passion, because I get tremendous happiness in my heart when I'm able to help somebody else, because people look up to me and they feel inspired by me and encouraged by me. And so people are always watching and observing what I'm doing and what I'm eating and what kind of water I drink. And so for people to come and confide in me and to ask me my advice about how I can help them be healthier, and for me to be so excited and happy to do it, that's when I realized that perhaps being an advocate for health and proper diet and nutrition was a passion and not so much just an addiction. And that's how I entered the world of health, and I'm here to stay. Like, this is what I'm supposed to do, and I finally know that. So to talk a little bit about some of the things that you can expect to see from me, on my YouTube channel, Instagram, and other things like that, I can definitely say that I want to put out a lot of informational, educational videos. I want to do cooking videos just to show you guys some of my favorite recipes and how I maintain my vegan or plant-based diet, and what are my major staples. I want to talk about like DIY recipes, like what do I use to take care of my hair and my skin, what do I wash my ass with, like, because I get asked these questions, so I want to do videos about stuff like that. Of course, Q&A videos, because I know I'll get asked a ton of questions. I also would love to start to branch out and do seminars and webinars about different things, because I just have so much to say and so much to give, and the only way that I can do that is by utilizing my platform to reach out to you guys. Because I'm here in Ohio, and physically I can't reach all of you guys physically, but by tuning into my channel, I can be there with you and I can help you along your journey, and I can support you, because I know that without YouTube, without Instagram, without Facebook, those were my ways that I tried to cope with all of the things that I was going through. Okay. I've held on to my dreams for long enough. I've thought about it for long enough, and it's now or never, and right now is the best time for me to plant those seeds and for me to water them and to see them grow. I knew a long time ago that this was something that I particularly wanted to do, but because of fear, because of lack of creativity, because of complacency and just being comfortable with where I was and where things were in that moment, I allowed my dreams to kind of just sit there. And so thanks again, guys, for inspiring me to go ahead and just move forward with what I knew I needed to do in my heart. I hope that this video helped you guys learn a little bit more about Brittany or Aquila and the Awakening Aquila movement. If you guys are not already subscribed, please subscribe to my channel, Awakening Aquila TV. And if you are not already following me, follow me on IG at awakening_Aquila. I am out, and I will see you guys next time on Awakening Aquila TV. Peace out.